An extremely handy tool to have around to test batteries is a multimeter. Now this multimeter, you can spend a lot of money on multimeters, and I don't, I certainly would not suggest you do that if all you want to do is see whether or not, batteries are good or needing to be replaced. This Centec, part number 61593, I can find this online for less than $25. This was part of the materials that was supplied in a electrified hardware class I was in. I keep this around at the shop because it's super useful. So $25, you can take that and you can test every battery now in the future of your entire ever use of needing to test batteries. No more of this kind of test with the 9-volt battery. You can do that, and that's pretty good. Doesn't work for AA batteries, unfortunately. You'd need an awfully big tongue, I suppose. So, fire alarm panel, security alarm panel, was giving us an indicator of, hey, your battery needs to be replaced. So I says, well, let's check that. So this logic, what I'm about to give you, applies for whether it be a security alarm panel, a battery backup, and a power supply. The AAA batteries in your remote, anything, this is going to work for it. So the bottom line is this is a 12-volt battery. It says it right there. This is DC, which means we're going to have a black or negative terminal. We'll have a red or positive terminal. The leads on my multimeter are red and black. This can do AC voltage as well, which there isn't red and black, except that you will have a black wire, generally in AC voltage. The point of the matter is, though, how do I know if this battery's no good? I was getting an idiot light that said it's no good, but I don't know that. But let me show you. And again, you can use this on any battery. Before you throw the battery away, you can test it. DC voltage is, there's polarity to DC voltage, meaning you must connect the red to the positive, or red to red. Black must go to negative, or black to black. This battery happens to have positive and negative on it. It also gives me red and black, so I really can't be confused. Pop open the hood of your car. You're going to see red and black. That's DC. That's a DC voltage. AC, you're never going to see that. So what you have to know at this point is how to set your multimeter. It's simple. This one makes it look like it's really complicated, but it's not. This is a lower end model, so you've got you have to set the range. With more expensive multimeters, it'll auto range. So first of all, you need to know that that V, that's voltage. And those straight lines, the fact they're not squiggly like this one, that means DC. That means red and black. If you wanted to test AC voltage, like your lamp went out, well, you took that battery out and you put it in another lamp, and you took that light bulb out and you put it in another lamp, and the light bulb works. Well, that's weird. Well, maybe there's a problem, a short or an open in the lamp. That could be. How do you know? Are you a lamp technician? I'm not. What I could do, though, is set this to AC voltage and stick the probes into my wall outlet. Don't be scared. You can do that. Stick that right in the wall outlet, and you'll see if you're getting AC voltage. So, since we're talking about batteries and DC voltage, we're talking about batteries, therefore DC voltage, you're going to be set to the two straight lines, not the squiggly line. But this holds true for anything AC voltage. So this said it was 12 volt. With a lower end model like this, you have to set it to the range that is the next setting higher than what you expect. I'm expecting to see 12 volts, so what will I set it to? I'm going to set it to 20 because I'm going to expect to see 12, not more than 20. I won't see anything more than 12 plus maybe 10%, 13, 14 volts. Don't set it to 200, that's too high of a range. You're not going to get to 20, but that's where you set it. That's the next highest. Again, DC voltage, straight lines. AC voltage oscillates like this, 60 hertz a second. That's why you're seeing that little squiggly line there. So what we do is we turn it on. 0. I'm going to remove the little protector tips on my unit, on my whatchamacallit here. I'm going to stick my positive. I don't have any banana clips here, otherwise I'd stick it in there. Okay. Let me do this. I'm not making any contact on the red terminal. What am I getting? 0.1, 0.09. This battery is as dead as a doornail. There's almost no voltage coming out of this battery. So I was getting a 200th of what it should be, something like that. So just doing awful math in my head. So this allowed me to know, yeah, that's for the recycle bin right there. Now, had I've been getting that idiot light on the security alarm and my battery checked out fine, you know that you have another problem. The point of a multimeter and being able to test whether or not your batteries are good is really a gateway to being able to do many, many other things in terms of diagnosing what's wrong. Is the light bulb no good? Is the lamp no good? Or is the wall outlet no good? Something's no good. And you can test the light bulb easy. You can test the wall outlet really easy with that voltmeter, that multimeter. That multimeter actually will check. It will check. Let's see here now. So a multimeter, just to give you another concept in terms of why else you would have it. You would also have one of these that you could use for determining continuity. Yeah, here it is. I had to find the setting for continuity. Right there. Those little successive lines. You set that to continuity, and you turn that on. Continuity is, you have a piece of wire. You can put your terminals at either end of the wire and determine if there is an open in that wire. If you hear an audible sound, you know that you have continuity. The wire's good, or at least it's not open. So let's find something to test that with. Okay, so continuity is what we're set on here. Continuity. Continuity is really helpful. I've got a wire. I've just got this wire that I use to wire up random power supplies when I just want to plug them in. That's going to be the green for ground. We may all know that. Well, I got a ground wire right here that's green. That wire is going to go to here. I want to test to see if there's a short or an open in this wire. I can check for continuity. When you're checking for continuity, it doesn't matter what terminal goes where. You'll either get a positive or a negative reading on your multimeter. Doesn't matter which. You can just switch the leads and get the opposite sort of condition. So I've got that all touching, and I imagine you can hear that. You can't now? Now you can. Because in this hand, I'm holding my lead together. So that is extremely helpful. That's another good reason to have it. The point is anyone, mechanically inclined or not, can touch these two leads onto something and know if a battery is no good, to know if there's a break in a wire. The other thing that you would use this for is to determine, this can do temperature as well. If you wanted to know how hot a piece of hardware was, you could use it for that. That's outside of what you're going to bump into. You can also test for ohms, and that would be most certainly outside of common use. So what you would do with ohms is if you had a piece of equipment and you wanted to see whether or not the motor had a short in it in the windings, you would test for ohms, the amount of resistance that would go through that motor. That's measured in ohms. And you could talk to the manufacturer of the motor and say, how many ohms should I see? And they'll tell you the value. You can then use your multimeter and set it to ohms, same ranging situation, set it for the next highest of what you expect to see. Then you could test the leads on the motor, and then you'll know. So being able to check whether or not your battery is good or not, that's really, really handy. And I think everyone should have a multimeter laying around just for that purpose. But you can also check for continuity, which is less common, but you may do it. And you can also test for ohms, which you probably won't do if you're just a homeowner, weekend warrior kind of thing. But you can. You'll know if a motor is no good. Sorry for beleaguering this point too long, but now we have the entire story. Thank you very much. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.